The two things in life that we'll never be able to control is time and change. But that's what makes life so beautiful, right? Which makes every day a blessing. The fact that we die and the fact that we can't go back with time. Time only moves forward. But though we can't control time and we can't control change, we can manage them. We can make the decision and the choice on how we decide to manage our time or to manage the change that happens to us. So I'm gonna make life simple for you guys. You are simply a product of how you manage your time. Whatever you spend the most time doing has a direct correlation on the life you live currently and in the future. So if you spend most of your time thinking about negative things, thinking about negative thoughts, negative situations, the negative things that have happened to you in your life, then most likely you're gonna live a life of negativity. You're gonna live a life of negative energy. You're gonna live a life of a person with negative thoughts, feeling helpless, hopeless, depressed. And the main reason you live that life is because that's what you spend your time and energy on. So you have to learn how to manage that time and energy. It's very similar to how somebody that weightlifts, how they manage their body in order to achieve a certain physique. So for a bodybuilder to achieve a certain physique, he has to manage the food that he puts in his body. He has to manage the amount of calories. He has to manage the amount of fats, the amount of carbs, the amount of protein, because if he doesn't focus his energy and time in each one of those areas, it will have a direct effect, a direct correlation to his outcome. So he has to manage the amount of fats that he puts in his body. He has to make sure that he hits the right amount of protein, because if he doesn't consume the right amount of protein every day, then he's not going to build the muscle that he wants in the future. So how you manage that time and that energy has a direct correlation to how successful you are at achieving the thing that you want in life. So we got to put our focus on how we manage our time, because there's only 24 hours in a day. I know that seems like a lot, but really it's not. 8 of those 24 you spend sleeping. 8 of those 24 you spend at work. So you already got 16 hours gone. You only have 8 hours left. Now, most people are probably watching 2 to 3 hours worth of TV a day. Bam. So you can take that off. Let's say 2. So you're down to 6 hours. You got to take into account that you eat. You may spend 30 to 45 minutes eating, talking to people. Now you're down to somewhere around, 5 hours? What's next? You spend time on social media. Most people are spending about an hour a day on social media. I mean, that's easy to check. All you got to do is go look at the usage and see how much time you're spending on, these different apps, these particular apps. So then you're left with, roughly 4 hours. A lot of that time is going to go to miscellaneous stuff like driving to say you go to the grocery store, say you drive to work. A lot of that stuff is going to be filled up with miscellaneous time. Then you're going to want to go home and relax. So you may spend an hour or two relaxing, just chilling, doing other things. Before you know it, that whole 24 is gone. And you put none of that time and energy towards doing the little things that are going to get you that achievement down the road that is going to allow you to hit your goal. So because I have a purpose in life and there's things I want to do and there's things I want to achieve, I make sure that I put energy towards those things because it's not going to happen if I don't. Robert Greene's book, Mastery. To become the master at something, you got to spend 10,000 hours doing it. So if I'm not putting the time there, I can never be successful at it. So once again, it's about how you are managing your time. What are you putting your time and energy towards? This is why you're in the place that you're in today. Negative or positive. If you're in a good space, it's because you've been doing the right things. You've been using your time in the right way. If you feel like your life is not, at the level that you want it to be, is because you've been putting your time and energy into the wrong things, or you will have the things that you've wanted. Things don't just happen by luck. There's a science to becoming successful. And once you understand what it takes to become successful, it spills over into other aspects of your life because you have learned the recipe. Once you learn the recipe, you know how to generate more of that in different areas. For instance, they always say the first $1 million is the hardest for a person to make. But once he learns how to make $1 million, once he learns how to make it, it doesn't become harder to make more of it because they have learned the recipe. And the recipe is not, it's not just used in one area of life. It's almost universal, like a law. You see how I correlated working out to achieving goals. You got to give time. You got to manage. You got to manage your time. You got to manage the type of foods that you put in me. Put in yourself, not me. But you got to manage the type of foods that you put in yourself. It's all about management. So I want us just to spend more time focusing on how we're managing our time, because I want us all to be successful. I created this channel because I wanted to help people become a better version of themselves. Whether it was spiritually, whether it was financially, whether it was just they just wanting to become a better person, a better partner, a better friend. I created this to help uplift lives, to help change lives and put lives in the right direction, to point them in the right direction. So I'm always going to bring content that I think is going to be beneficial for you guys. So let's, this week, focus on how we're managing our time and change some things. Change some things. I promise you, if you really manage your time and divvy up how you're spending your time, when you become very aware of that, your life is going to be so much more efficient. It's like budgeting. You need to know how much you're spending in comparison to how much you're making to know if you're profiting, to know if you're underwater. It's all about how you manage. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. It's a little bit of daily wisdom. But I'm going to have more content on the way per usual. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.